News that's coming in from the United States of America. There has been a chopper crash. A plane has crashed into a helicopter over Washington, D.C. Airliner has crashed into a helicopter over Washington, D.C. while it was landing. Unfortunately, fatalities have been reported. A massive search and rescue operation is happening as we are speaking with regards to the Potomac River. The images that you are seeing on your screens are coming in from the Potomac River. That's the place where massive search and rescue operation is happening. All the runways have been shut down and all departures and landings have been halted at the DCA Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport near Washington, D.C. My colleague Shiv Arur is now joining me on the phone. Shiv, very unfortunate news now coming to the fore, and plane crashes, especially in the US, always bring back the unfortunate memories of 9/11 attack.
That's correct, Aishwarya. Very unfortunate, scarce details coming in, but we've got an initial report suggesting that fatalities have taken place. In fact, I'm going to ask our producers to play out the video of the collision itself, which I've just sent in. The video that we have on our screen is not the collision video, but what appears clear is that this was a flight, an American Airlines flight, flight 5342, which was a CRJ 700 civil airliner, a normal airline aircraft carrying passengers from Wichita in Kansas to the Reagan National Airport, which is just outside Washington, D.C. And when you look at the video, you can see that it was at very low altitude, probably coming into land at that time, when it collided into what local reports are saying is a police helicopter. It crashed into a police helicopter, and then both of those aircraft go crashing into the ground. So it's quite unsettling, quite troubling. The video that we have on our screens right now, which has been circled, is actually a search helicopter looking for casualties because the aircraft is said to have crashed into the Potomac River, which runs through Washington and the tri-state area. But the actual video, which I'm again going to urge our producers to put on the screen right now, is of the collision itself. There's another video of the collision itself. This is one where you can see the collision. If we just zoom in just a little bit more, you can see the collision. That's the collision. You can see the small dot. That's the police helicopter. It comes in fast. It's into the aircraft. We can't tell for sure who is at fault. Obviously, these are very, very early moments. But this dramatic video capturing that collision. The source of this video is also unclear, Aishwarya. Appears to be either a CCTV camera from some part of the city, or maybe someone was taking a picture. Could be a traffic camera as well. But it does capture it from the distance. There are police helicopters that are conducting search and rescue operations right now. But definitely a tragedy. It wasn't very high when the collision took place, but there will definitely be casualties.
Right, Shiv, we are also seeing, as you rightly pointed out, now we can see on our screens the police helicopter now, the massive search and rescue operations. So questions definitely, Shiv, will be asked with regards to this, because as you're also pointing out, this was a police helicopter in which the plane crashed.
That's correct. Around airports, it's always air traffic is usually very, very congested. The airspace around Washington, D.C. and the tri-state area, which is basically Washington, D.C., Maryland and Virginia, is a place that has extremely hectic air traffic activity. And it always poses a challenge for air traffic controllers. But that doesn't mean that, very, very professional air traffic controllers are not deployed in places like these. And accidents do happen at the best of times, Aishwarya, we must remember that. But this is a troubling incident because, like you rightly pointed out, this was a police helicopter. The aircraft was coming in to land. Presumably, the aircraft had clearance to land. We don't obviously know the details, but this is American Airlines. There's no reason to believe that it didn't have clearance to come in for that final approach. Was the police helicopter not authorized to be in that particular, airspace at that time? Was there a miscommunication? Could there have been some kind of misunderstanding between, either of the pilots and ground control? There are an entire permutation of things that can go wrong, when collisions happen. And if you look at the history of air traffic, air collisions, it tells you one thing, that no matter how much technology you have, no matter how many persons you have, policing policing airspace and making sure aircraft have safe and adequate separation, collisions actually do happen on a fairly regular basis. They are rare. They don't happen often, but they do happen. And there are collisions that happen every single year. And the reason for that is airspace congestion, especially around big cities, is a big thing. Right now, air traffic control is moving into a regime of AI, where machines are going to do much of the decision making to ensure that the human frailties of air traffic control can be done away with. But in these videos, in this particular video that you're getting in from Washington, D.C., it is clear that, no matter what happens, these accidents will and can happen.
Right, Shiv, you made a very important point, the increased air traffic, especially if we speak about the United States of America. We have seen how their airspace has increased tremendously over the past many years. And as you rightly pointed out, unfortunately, we are seeing these kind of incidents taking place globally almost every year. The number of collisions have come down, but yes, these collisions do happen. We are also, Shiv, from what we understand, we also expect an official statement coming in from the airlines and also from the government with regards to this.
That's correct. There will be a statement from the Air Traffic Authority and the Airports Authority in the United States, the Federal Aviation Authority as well, the FAA, will issue a statement, as well as the Transport Safety Board. But while we wait for that particular statement, I also wanted to just share with our viewers, Aishwarya, that it's extremely important that there is some kind of video evidence actually capturing the collision and the crash, and this will be extremely helpful for the crash investigation. Remember, most crashes take place, without any video capturing what happened, the angle with which things happened, the precise moment of the collision, where exactly the aircraft fell, etc. It's very difficult, and usually crash investigators have to go into piecing together the jigsaw pieces of what they find. A lot of forensics goes into it. There's a lot of guesswork as well, based on what they can get from the flight data recorder, etc. But right now the focus will be on search and rescue, because according to some reports, the aircraft crashed in the Potomac River. We don't know if there's a confirmation on that, but if that is the case, this is going to be a much more complicated search and rescue operation if it involves the river itself. If any part of the river or the cabin of the aircraft or the cabin has fallen into the river, search and rescue is going to be much more difficult. And as we can see, it's night time, so that brings its own challenges. So this is the first real, aviation tragedy that America has faced. Yesterday there was a crash of an F-35 fighter in Alaska. Mercifully, the pilot was able to bail out in time. The aircraft, of course, was destroyed. But this is a civil airliner that has crashed into a police helicopter near Washington, D.C., and it's definitely going to raise the alarm.
Thank you, Shiv, for giving us details, putting things in perspective. As my colleague was also pointing out, we are expecting a statement coming in very soon with regards to this crash. Very unfortunate news coming in. An airliner has crashed with a police helicopter near Washington, D.C. Deaths have been reported so far in this case.